Hello everyone and welcome to Devils United. This is a preview for Manchester United versus Burnley. Hello everyone and welcome back to Devils United. With me today I have got Dan. How are you, Dan?
I'm all right. I've perked up a lot since what we discussed off camera, but yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. Just tired. You know when it gets to that time of night where you're just like proper flagging. So it's getting to that now.
I wonder if you might feel the exact same on Tuesday, depending on what the result is.
I can't say I've given up with Burnley because I obviously live my football club, but after yesterday's performance, wow. As I said to Chris earlier, that was a match that could cure insomnia because it was that boring.
Well, I could definitely feel your pain with the FA Cup. We was the exact same, wasn't we, to be honest, getting beat against Middlesbrough. So we'll go on anyway and we'll discuss the preview. We will do some bad memories from this weekend, but a few people are already in the chat anyway. I want to say hello to Kate, hello to Niall, hello to Andrew, and hello to Kai. Thank you for tuning in, and everyone who's watching, please hit the like and subscribe button. Only 3 more away now from 500 subscribers. So
deserved as well. You deserve it.
Thank you so much, Dan. How have you, for you with Burnley, how's your season gone for you so far?
Shite. Next question. No, I'm joking. It has been absolutely, pathetic this season. Last season, there were 3 worse teams than us. This season, we're one of them 3. So it worries me because we've sort of carried on from last season where we were whoop, whoop, whoop. So it's, we're taking 1-0 leads and things like that. And it were working fine. However, we started going ahead in games, but then conceding straight after. It's like our arse fell out. So, I look back to last season when we played Southampton, we were 1-0 up, lost 2-1. We were 1-0 up against Newcastle, lost that 2-1. We started the season the same way as well. Against Brighton, went 1-0 up, lost 2-1 again. Away at Everton, went 1-0 up. 6 minutes later, we were 3-1 down. If that doesn't scream that we have no plan B once plan A doesn't work, it's very, very worrying. And as I said, that yesterday's game against Watford, honestly, I'm glad I was in the hospitality because that free bar came in handy because the weather was shit, the game was shit. And things come in threes. So this morning I woke up and I felt like shit. So yeah, swings and roundabouts.
Well, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's been a good season for Burnley so far, out of the FA Cup, out of the Carabao Cup. You've only won 1 game so far this season, and if I'm correct, that was against Brentford.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, 10 draws, 8 losses. So in terms of that, you've not got as many losses as Watford, Newcastle, Norwich. You haven't even got as many losses as Everton, but you've got several games behind everybody else. Have you got any updates of when these games are going to be at all? Because I can imagine it's going to be jam-packed there for Burnley, and it could potentially be quite a struggle for Burnley as well.
Yeah, when you look at the games that are set to be rescheduled yet, we basically have to play a game every 5 days.
Yeah.
For us to catch up. Well, not catch up, but to keep, until the end of the season, if that's how it needs to be played out. The Watford game this weekend were one of the ones that got rearranged, so that's one that's bitten the dust. A shit draw, to be fair. No, it doesn't go well for either team. If anything, it's probably the better for Watford because, if anything, they've not had a clean sheet all season. Welcome to Turfmoor. Hey, there's your clean sheet. Go and have one. Treat yourself. Go mad with it. Bring on a goal scorer that's not scored in about 17 years, and then he'll bag a brace because you're at Burnley. It's absolute. Just this season's been dross, absolute dross. And I'm already looking forward to the Championship.
Well, you've got the likes of maybe perhaps seeing West Brom all over again. You might have to see a bit of Blackburn if they don't get promoted as well. Birmingham
You didn't have
City.
to add that last bit, Maisy. You did not have to add that last bit. Never mind. Bastards and promotion doesn't go.
But think about it. You could easily get re-promoted back over again if you do well in the Championship.
Our squad's too old. I think we go down. The players that we've got now, when we lose Pope, when we lose Cornet, McNeil, and big hitters in our squad, we're basically left with practically the dementia ward of the local hospital because we just got a full bag of OAPs. So they're not going to have the credentials to take us back up. I will literally eat my hat if they do. However, I do not think they will.
I will hold you to that, and I'm going to clip it as well. So I'll come back in a year's time. So Dan said he's going to eat his hat if you get promoted back into the Premier League.
I'll give it a go.
But I checked the goal difference as well. The goal difference currently at -11. Obviously not as bad as other teams as well who's around you, but Chris Wood losing him to someone who's also fighting relegation, Newcastle. How bad do you think that is going to impact Burnley throughout the rest of this season?
See, at first I was gutted. I was gutted to lose someone like Chris Wood. Obviously, we've replaced him with Wout Weghorst, and he only just made his debut yesterday. But he's a big fella, like really, he's proper Crouch-esque with his heart. I'm just hoping that he's more like, Messi or Ronaldo for his goal scoring ability. However, he's not really had a fair chance at Burnley just yet. As I say, his debut was yesterday. But yeah, losing Chris Wood at first, I was like, generally felt like that. Right, well, that's it. That's the nail in the coffin. We're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought 25 million. That's peanuts, especially when we paid 15 million. And
you made a profit at least.
Yeah, I mean, 10 million profit, it's not to be sniffed at. But I just looked at it and thought, at the time, he was a Championship striker at Leeds. And, he's coming to a team that literally is battling to stave off relegation season after season.
Mm-hmm.
And he's bagging, double figures for goals. However, this season, he's 30 years old. He's only got 3. It's quite it was interesting. But then I look at Everton and the fact that Luca Dean at Everton has probably been their standout player for past 2 or 3 seasons. And he went to Villa for 25 million for the same amount. So I'm thinking, well, if we've just got 25 million for Chris Wood, who's getting on a little bit, we'll definitely not get any service at Newcastle because St. Maximum and Ryan Fraser like to cut in. So Chris Wood is not going to get the service from the wings. So yeah, I'm happy he's gone. He's no longer in his comfort zone, which was clearly cuddling the offside flag, using it as a bedtime blanket. And yeah, it'll be good to see what Weghorst can do. I think Dash wants Weghorst and Cornet to form a partnership, but whether that works is yet to be seen.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I done a prediction stream with you a couple of weeks ago, someone actually mentioned on your chat you was linked with Andy Carroll. How happy are you that you didn't get him?
As soon as it were announced that West Brom signed Andy Carroll, I thought, right, come on, Burnley, let's do something serious now. Cross that one off the list, please.
I'm sure that you probably would have been disappointed though if you didn't get him. If you did get him.
It'd have definitely been
You was
interesting. Put it that
rapping
way.
about it. You was
Put it that
rapping
way.
about how much you didn't want him.
It's proper like it's up there with Dale Stevens. When we signed Dale Stevens from Brighton as well, I was just like, "What the f are you doing here? Like, why? Like, are you not? Can you not just like stay in the like work in the offices, be like some sort of little file bitch or something?" Because as a footballer, you're shocking. Honestly, it just
You could
ah,
do a
but
couple of good disallowed goals if that helps you change your mind.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it has certainly fitted the Chris Wood mould of being offside all the time, scoring disallowed goals because he's too heavy-handed. But yeah, I'm so glad he's gone to West Brom. Knowing us though, he'll finish West Brom's top goal scorer. We'll sign him next season. Not too soon.
You already feel like it looks like you're already dreading the transfer window in the summer.
Oh, I am. Trust me. Because I don't even think we'll be looking at footballers. We'll be going around old people's homes, seeing it, doing like doing walking football with them to see if they can see if they fancy a game.
I suppose you could always take some of our players. You can have Mata if you want. You can have Matic there getting on a little bit now.
Yeah, final crack at the Premier League. Why not? Why not?
Niall has a question for you on the new signing that you did get in the transfer window. What do you think of him?
Yesterday were definitely a welcome to Burnley in terms of the weather because it was awful. Honestly, I didn't have a hat on. I shaved my head. It was so cold. It was so cold. Honestly, it was like someone had stuck a pair of eyes, a nose, and a mouth on an ice cube. It was just that. That's how cold my head were. The rain were battering down, proper windy as well. I'm just glad we were in hospitality because I sat inside, not with any prawn sandwiches, by the way. I'm not part of a prawn sandwich brigade. However, I am. I went in to warm myself up. Thought I'll get my beer jacket on.
For if anybody is wondering, is the weather always like that up north? The answer is yes. It is always raining and it is always cold. So people who's down south is extremely lucky. I'd absolutely love to feel a bit of warmth at this time of year.
Oh, light rain up north classed as a decent summer.
Exactly. It's classed as just a showery, rainy kind of thing, and it's proper light rain. But imagine what it'd be like down south.
People take the piss when we say it's spitting. That's general excitement at the fact that it's not raining half as hard as it usually is, and practically get a barbecue out. It's only spitting. It's fine. We're there. Exactly. We're loving it.
Exactly. That is exactly what us Northerners are like. A little bit of spitting. Yeah, let's get the barbie out.
Yeah, sod it. Let's stick some water in pool. Bugger it. We're going all out.
Hello to Jade. Thank you for tuning in. And hello there to Brush. Hope you've recovered from the chip challenge. So what are we doing when you hit 1K? Put him on the spot.
Retiring. No, I'm thinking of doing something at 500, which I'm not entirely sure yet. Well, you could stop pulling your face. You're like, no, I want to do it. I have mentioned, however, potentially doing a charity back wax at 500 subs. However, I don't know how that'll work on camera. So
you'd have to do it on the side, and then you'd have to rip it off like that.
I'll just have to hold the phone in my hand, and then when you see me the phone just go like this, because I just rips it off.
That's exactly what is going to happen, and I hope this back wax actually does happen. Are you having your full
you never know.
Wax, or are you having a little bit?
No, to be fair, I did have my chest wax for charity quite a while ago, a good couple of years back now. That were painful. That were painful because the hairs near your nipples had to be plucked. So honestly, I felt like a raw chicken. Now, honestly, kill me first if you're gonna do it. Kill me first, because that were horrible. That were absolutely painful as anything.
Well, we'll have to stay tuned to see what you're going to do for your 500 sub mark.
I'm going to have to create a Jackass movie with the way this shit's going. Hi, my name's Daniel, and welcome to Jackass.
That is absolutely.
Well, my name's Daniel, and I am a jackass.
Well, that sounds good as well. Hello to my queen as well. Thank you for tuning in. Hello to Nippon. Nippon's changed his name to NS Sports TV. Hello there to Nippon. Thank you for tuning in. Hello to Rich. I hope you're well. Brush said that your new signing is very tall.
Very, very tall. Like literally, when the players came out, put it one way, he's definitely one where if you know on the international stage where they do like they pan the camera across the players, it's literally like putting Peter Crouch next to Jermaine Defoe. Camera goes like that to go like that. It's honestly, you need a selfie stick. Jermaine Defoe would need a selfie stick to hold the camera up to Peter Crouch. So yeah, he is a big, big fella.
Yes. I haven't really seen him much, but I'm going to have to obviously see on Tuesday how good he really is. And knowing Manchester United after how we've been, you probably will concede again. We probably will concede against as it happened last game. Kai thinks, no offence, but Burnley are one of them teams who have overstayed their welcome in the Premier League.
Oh, you cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep. I mean, we've punched above our weight. Don't get me wrong. However, I think we've got every right to be there. I think we've definitely deserved it. I mean, it was only a couple of seasons ago we were, in a European hunt. So we've definitely deserved our right to fight on the main stage. However, this is where probably the curtain calls come through and relegation is staring us firmly in the face. I'm too lazy now. I'm too lazy. I couldn't do stand-up. I'd have to do sit-down. It'd be like magic. I just lie on a chair and I'll just pull like a flush and then water comes down. And I'm just like that's my yearly shower done. Happy days. See you later.
Niall has said, for me, Burnley are one of those teams, like Sunderland, are that thing that won't flush away. I can see them getting relegated. Sorry, Daniel.
It's fine. Burnley are that tough stain on the back of the bog that doesn't want to go away.
Andrew has got a very good question here. Is Dyche the man to get you back up?
Yeah. I think we've got to stick with him. I think it's only been a year since the new board came in, the new chairman and stuff. So, they came in last January. So they're still trying to find their feet a little bit in what they're doing of running a Premier League football club. However, they have been putting the names out there. I love the fact that the chairman's been getting involved in transfers, that he's been, flying out to different countries and stuff, because Burnley have never looked further than the end of their nose. I mean, they pretty much jump onto the motorway and sit outside of Stoke City Stadium and wait for one of the players to come out and say, do you want to play for Burnley, mate? But that's pretty much about it. So it's nice to see us delving into the foreign market. However, we are in a transitional period. We are trying to play some attacking football, but it's hard because you want to see attacking football. But I would happily rather now take the boring long ball dog shit football and it keep us up.
That's very, very true. With this new board, are you hoping that perhaps that you'll get some young investments in? Because we haven't really seen that many young players there at Burnley. And I've seen your Burnley career mode. You've had a couple of players in there who are pretty young, if I'm correct, Curtis Jones being one of them. And I really do believe that Burnley need to look at a more future plan to rely on some youth, because I feel like with the youth, they will help them for the next couple of years. Maybe perhaps be a bit like Arsenal, invest in the youth, and that could help you for the next 5 to 10 years anyway, with the amount of youth you could potentially invest in.
Yeah, I think we are trying to get an academy status think that's what we're wanting to achieve first and foremost. So that was part of the process of when we built the new training, like multi-million training complex. That was the idea behind that. It's so difficult now though, because players are getting poached left, right, and centre, at young ages and stuff. And you look at it from a fan perspective, and you're like, yes, we want young, hungry players coming in.
Yeah.
You've got to look at it from the business side as well, where they'll think, right, let's bring this player in that's only, I'll take Nathan Collins at Burnley. I know another one we signed from Stoke. Yeah, another one. Don't worry, people. It's only another one. The conveyor belt is still running. But yet Nathan Collins came in from Stoke. He's only 20 years old, and he's pretty much our second choice centre-back in case anything happens to Ben Mee or Tarkowski, which I think Nathan Collins will obviously slot in when Tarky goes at the end of the season. But yeah, we do need that academy status. And I think as well, the chairman owns a business that works on youth players, and basically people sending these videos of themselves doing certain training things, and they look at your mannerisms, the way you do it, your timing and things like that. And they brought people in for trials off it and stuff, and it seems to have been a success. So we are trying to invest in the youth. From a business side of things, they are probably going to be looking at, what's going to be the sort of the stages of a player in a sense, in terms of like in 2 to 3 seasons, is he going to come into his own? Is he going to mature as a footballer? What's going to be his resale price? If he does go, because apparently at the moment you can't sell any of them. Honestly, they passed the sell-by dates, let alone blaming the price tag.
We could probably maybe get him for 500k, maybe. You could get something like that for a Burnley player.
Oh, yeah, true. True.
And that could invest in something.
Yeah, Sean Dyche's new back pocket on his ripped pair of jeans.
Kate said, Dan's literally the most funniest person I know, and I'm not biased. I'd pay to see him on the stage every time.
I'll take that. Nice to get a compliment at some point in the day, innit? I've been an arsehole for rest at 24 hours, so no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I was born an arsehole.
Box said, Burnley are staying up, and you'll probably beat us. I think knowing that we lost against Middlesbrough too on Friday, do you think that Burnley might potentially take that as an advantage and think, right, your squad gets pretty weakened out, you've put so many players here on loan. Do you think they might come with a full strengthened squad to try and break down Manchester United?
Yeah, pretty much. I think with Man United at the moment, it's difficult because obviously off-field things going on. In terms of a certain player, and then obviously the fact that the game against Middlesbrough going to extra time and penalties, that'll have knackered half of them out as much as they've probably had an extra day. But it's typical Burnley. They come up against the big sides and they end up putting in a performance, as you saw when a couple of weeks back when we got a point against Arsenal. So I'm hoping we can get something on the game, because it will definitely take the shine away from the absolute dogger of performances yesterday against Watford, because it was an absolute shambles.
Bots thinks Carnick could be another player who could potentially put Burnley to safety, and the defence will keep clean sheets, and that they think that your new signing needs to fire at least 10 goals. I know you did touch on a bit of the defence on the last preview, and you don't think it is the same defence as what it was last season. Would you still agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say that as much as it's the same people at the back, the same level of performance just isn't there. Tarkowski has got, to be fair, our shirt sponsors put something out on Twitter the other week saying about how Tarkowski's made the most blocks in the Premier League this season or something. And it's all right being, blocking things. It's all well and good blocking things, but when you're pretty much probably top of the assist league for ball going in your own net, because you've had so many mistakes and you've let other teams in, It's difficult, but as I said, because we've started to try and play a bit more expansive, that's why we've seen cracks at the back. And there's only one thing that comes out of a crack at the back, and that's shit.
At least you're honest. Andrew's made a good point here about Burnley. The problem with Burnley is that they have been dominated in the middle of the park. Every time I have seen them this season, and Sean is still persisting with 2 up, I think the league has evolved since then.
Yeah, massively. And I think that's why we're trying to adapt to it. However, it's coming at a cost because it may cost us our position in the league. But he's spot on. He's spot on. The opening day against Brighton, they chucked an extra body in midfield. We shat ourselves. We lost 2-1. Away at Everton, they brought Andre Gomez on. We shit ourselves with 3-1 down after 6 minutes. And it just makes you think, like, why? Why are we not being like proactive and reactive to what's happening? Because Dash, he always makes like-for-like substitutions as well. That's another thing that pisses me off. Adapt. Change the game. Take a winger off. You don't have to play with a flat back 4 all the time. Change that up. Maybe it's infuriating because you feel like he's one of those sort of dying managers that sticks with the 4-4-2. It's old school, and it's like, get with the times, Grandad. You've got to, we're moving forward. So.
With the squad, though, you have got, what is the best formation for you? What can you do to change to the rest of the season to try and get as many points as you can?
The best formation for us is postponing that. Just spawn the league. Scrap the league. We'll start again.
No winners. Scrap the league. We'll start again. 22-23 season, and we'll try and do what we can.
It's The thing is, the 4-4-2 has worked. I just think that there's a lot of players that want to play in different positions. Dwight McNeil doesn't want to be playing on the wing. He's actually come out and said that he'd rather play in it as like a number 10, playing off the striker. And we saw it at Palace away last season. It worked. The goal he scored against Everton last season, for a screamer from range. It was just. It's worrying times. It is very, very worrying times. But as I say, Andrew, you've hit the nail on the head, mate. And I'm glad that other people can see it as well, because it's clear to see that Sean Dash, just in case you're listening, can't see it.
That's true. That's very, very true. With the team that you do have, do you think potentially maybe a different formation, maybe a 4-3-3, 5 at the back might potentially work a bit better? Because you're more of a defensive team.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see us go for like a 3-5-2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends how you want to look at it. You could also say, knowing the way Burnley set it up, it'd probably be more like 5-3-2. But it's something needs to give. Something does need to give. We need to try different things. That's why we've got training complexes. That's why we do training Monday to Friday prior to games and stuff like that. So he needs to try all that stuff out, because behind the scenes on the training pitch, it's barely heard of. If you want to change tactics and tweak stuff and work on this and that, then do that. But if you're just going to turn up on a match day after constantly playing a boring long ball 4-4-2 shit for the last 3 to 4 seasons, and all of a sudden you announce a team and the players are going, why am I playing? Why am I playing there? What formation is he playing here? What we're doing? Oh my God, my arse is falling out. Oh, what do I do? So it's like last minute team sheet comes out and you're like, oh, he's gone 4-3-3. What's all that about? And it's like, honestly, when you're so used to seeing the same shit, the same squad, the same tactics, the same substitutions, season in, season out, you start to it gets towards the dying end of the game and you're just like, oh, how many added minutes are going on? Let's have a look. That's the only thing different towards the end of a game.
Oh, you still know every single squad. Don't look at that team sheet anymore. I already know who it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I think that's what Chris Wood probably meant when he said he were in his comfort zone, because he knew that no matter what he did wrong, he could have had an absolute shocker all week in training, but he knew full well his name were on that team sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another worry.
Yeah, you need players who I would say you need like 2 players for each position, and because players do get a bit too comfortable to think, okay, that's absolutely fine. Like, I'm the only person who could play as a number 10, or I'm the only left back who's really any decent. So I can literally like concede 15 goals due to my fault, and then I still get started. And that shouldn't be the case. And I even noticed it in Manchester United. I think some players are extremely comfortable when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the manager to think, I'm going to get started regardless of who we do play against. I think we noticed that a lot with Harry Maguire, for one. I think he was extremely comfortable in the role he was playing. Luke Shaw as another one who I think was extremely comfortable in his role. I love Bruno Fernandes, but I think even he was extremely comfortable in his role as well as Rashford and as well as Cristiano Ronaldo, all comfortable in their roles to think, I'm not going to get dropped for nobody. And that shouldn't be the case. And Ralph coming in, he has dropped these players who he doesn't think is good enough for Manchester United. We've seen it. He has dropped Harry Maguire. He came on as a sub against Brentford. He started since. We have seen that Ronaldo has been subbed off a couple of times under Ralph, and he hasn't been extremely happy. Bruno's been dropped a couple of games. And we've seen Rashford now. He isn't playing every single game like he used to, but you need that firm manager to be like, if you're not playing, you're getting dropped, and you need that one who. You need the player who is a backup for the starting 11 player needs to be as good as that player for if they are going in bad form.
No, definitely. It's worrying times at Man United because they're starting 11 at the moment. There's so many different personalities. There's so many different egos, and you don't need that. You know, in today's society, when you're bringing in a transfer, you're looking at that player's background. You're looking at his personality. Will he gel well with the team? Is he a troublemaker? You know, and things like that. So when you're a bit, I suppose, the perks of being a big club, you don't really have to sell the club to them. Mm-hmm. So it's a case of if you think, you know, players are going to walk in there, like take Harry Maguire. He left Leicester, joined Man United, and all of a sudden thought he was Billy Big Bollocks, and he's not.
Exactly that, and that shouldn't be the case with any player. They need to feel like I have to play my best game every single game because otherwise I am going to be dropped, and that's what I do notice a lot. You don't see the same team every single week in, week out at Manchester City. There's always rotations, and Pep Guardiola would be that manager who would drop a player.
Yeah, he would. Pep Guardiola would put his women's team out and they'd still beat Burnley, so don't worry about it.
We do want to talk about the women's team at the moment for Man City because I think it might rile a couple of them up. They're not exactly doing that great at the moment.
They'd still beat us, though.
They're still ahead of us, though. We're ahead of them. We're ahead of them in the league for the women's league. We're third. We're third. They're sixth. And that is something I like to see.
Leicester still bottom?
No, the second to bottom.
Oh, I just wanted to rub it in a little bit because why not?
Exactly. Hello there to Jonathan Johnson. I hope you well. Niall, Dan can get Graham Alexander signed. Dale Stevens on loan at Motherwell might do the job there.
Okay, get your keys. We'll go off to Dale Stevens' house. Stick him in the boot. We're taking him up to Motherwell. He's shit. Honestly, you don't want him. Take him by all means. Take him, but I'll personally deliver him to you for free.
Kai said Manchester was freezing yesterday, always freezing. Andrew said the only time I went to Turfmoor, the ducks were walking and sliding on the top of a frozen river, and it was in July. Is it seriously that cold in Burnley?
It is really, really cold. I mean, we're on a flood warning, amber flood warning over the next couple of days, but yeah, no.
Question from Niall: if Burnley were to go down, would you swap Sean Dyche for Motherwell and ex-Burnley player Graham Alexander? Putting you on the spot now.
Nope. No. And I don't think Dar should go up to Scotland anyway, not unless he was offered one of the big jobs. Not saying that you're not a big club, but the
Celtic or Rangers.
Yeah, basically. But I don't think he would. I don't think he'd go up to Scotland. If anything, I think he would rather. If he's going to jump ship anywhere, he'll probably end up at somewhere like Everton or Leicester or something like
that. Yeah, I completely agree. You probably would end up being at probably a mid-table team. I could probably even see him potentially like being like at Everton one time if Everton gets a little bit better in terms of the form. I might say he could even be a Southampton manager perhaps as well if Ralph wasn't there. Kate has made a good point. I reckon summer transfer window, if signings are made, will do wonders for Burnley, fingers crossed. Have you got anyone linked to Burnley in the summer transfer window, or is it too premature?
Obviously depends what league we're in, I suppose. We've got to look at that. However, the thing for me, obviously, we were going to sign Mislav Orsic from Dynamo Zagreb in the January window. He said yes. He pretty much had confirmed that he was going to join us. He said that he was willing to stay even if we did go down because he wanted to get us back up. So he'd said all these positive things, and then Dynamo Zagreb fans took it upon themselves to go outside his house, threaten his family, say, please don't leave or we'll kill you, pretty much. And in the end, he signed a new contract with Dynamo Zagreb and told us no. So, yeah, I'm gutted because he would have been perfect for us, especially in midfield. Perfect in that cam role. Not that we've got a cam role available in a 4-4-2, but you know what I mean. Somebody with a bit of a creative flair, somebody that can play a ball in behind the defender. But yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. So the summer will be interesting. The summer windows are always a lot more interesting than the winter window. So dependent what league we're in, let's see what we can do.
Hello to Brendan. Thank you for tuning in. Maisie brought the A team today. Yeah, Dan is definitely the A team. Always the A team. Nippon has got a question for you, Dan. If Burnley get relegated, how long do you see them realistically in the Championship before they get back up?
2 or 3 years. A good 2 or 3 seasons, I think. It's hard to say, but I think at that point, if you do go down, you've got to rebuild. You have to rebuild. So we are going to lose big key players, and we are going to be dejected from a relegation. It's just whether we have that fire in our bellies to go again, because we all know the Championship's so difficult that once you're in there, it's so difficult to get out. So when you do get out, it's almost like, breathe. But these games are going to come thick and fast as well. And when you've got a bunch of 35-year-old has-beens, right, that literally, what's Dash call them? Seasoned pros, well, like veterans, arseholes. They won't be able to keep up with the demand of Tuesday, Saturday. They'll be like, I can't do this, Gaffer. I can't do this. Like, my asthma's flared up again. What's all this about?
It is such a physical league, though, isn't it? The Championship, and when you do get into the Championship, you definitely, for me, need to invest in younger players. Perhaps bring some players in on loan, because you look at some loanees who have done extremely well at the Championship. I'm gonna name one from Manchester United. Sorry to Chris if you are watching, or if you do watch it back. James Gardner, Nottingham Forest. He did contribute to the third goal for Nottingham Forest, but when you have a player like that coming in on loan, you need them kind of players to leave to keep the squad ticking over, because you play two games a week in the Championship. It's a lot more games, a lot more physical. You see a lot more injuries there, don't you, in the Championship as well? And once a Championship team comes into the Premier League, think, it's only once a week, am I right? And I think that is kind of what helped the likes of like Leeds for last season to think they had so many games in the Championship coming into the Premier League. Like, I've only got one game a week. I'm absolutely chilling. I'll put the A game on every week. They're not doing too well this season, but I still can probably imagine them to stay up still. But you look at team, and Brentford as well as another team, probably thinking, one game a week. Thank you very much. Like, you look at them kind of teams and you think getting into the Premier League, even though you're playing against the the A teams, you still got that bit of a rest, a lot more of a rest than you do in the Championship.
No, you do. So it's always nice to get that rest. However, we've had quite a lot of rest recently with all our games being called off. Yeah. So can we say that really we're still sort of rusty from resting up too much? You know, is the match sharpness not there? However, you'd have thought that behind closed doors, they've been playing little mini games and things like that against, you know, certain teams and stuff. But yeah, it's the demand in the Championship is it's too much, and it'll be too much for the players that we've currently got that are nigh on retirement.
Hello to Vincent, thank you for tuning in, and hello to Kasim from QNTV. Just as said, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. Box thinks players like Rondon, Nat Phillips will improve Burnley. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, we wanted Nat Phillips for a good 2 seasons now, and I think he would have been perfect. He'd have slotted in perfect. However, the signing of Nathan Collins, Nat Phillips, depending on how well he does at Bournemouth, you know, because he's currently out on loan there, there's a good chance, I reckon, Burnley should go in for someone like Nat Phillips. But yeah, as he said as well, Joe Rodon as well at Spurs would be a good shout. We've got to use that loan market because we've been shocking when we've used it. You know, I think the last person we had in on loan, Danny Drinkwater, need I say any more?
Danny Drinkwater, and that doesn't sound good at all. We all know what Danny Drinkwater is like. Oh my. Hello there to Just Me. Thank you as well for tuning in. Hello as well to Static. Thank you for tuning in. And to John Jones, I'll check my DMs after the stream and we will get something. I'll message you back. I did do a Q&A earlier on today. I did it with John Sinclair from a Newcastle fan, John Sinclair YouTube channel. So if you did miss that, Just Me, just check it out and you'll be able to see all the questions what did get asked. So last game we won 3-1. You wasn't happy with the game whatsoever. You done that little bit of a rant. Looking at that game, what do you think you need to improve on to try and get a win at Turfmoor?
Everything. We need a billionaire to walk through the door and say, you know what? You're shit, you're shit, you're shit. You're not even good enough. You shouldn't even be wearing the club badge. Piss off, Dale Stevens. I'm not name dropping, am I?
No.
So realistically, though, we've got to lace up our boots now and dig deep. We've got to go hard now. If anything, that Watford game was massive. And to only get... yeah, cheers. Thanks. You put me off my trail of thought now. The thing is, this is the thing, right? When someone says something, I get all these like mental images. So I've got like this mental image of like Ed Sheeran and Seth Rogen, and then just like this picture of me just cropping up over the top of it. So it's just like, whoa, what's going on? Like, why is my head doing this to me? Honestly, I don't need drugs to go on a trip, ladies and gentlemen. Put it that way. But no, we do need to lace up our boots now. Proper crack on. It's a second half of the season is getting pretty much underway for us. So I'm very, very worried because, as I say, the game against Watford was there for the taking. A 6-pointer, a must win, and we'll literally give them their first clean sheet of the season. So it's going to be an interesting match on Tuesday. As I say, I do think that we'll be perked up for it. I think we'll be looking to go all guns blazing. Hopefully the weather's improved because it was shocking the other night. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I always do when it's Burnley Man United.
Yeah, it's always such a difficult test, and I hate playing at Turfmoor. It's just such a difficult test for Manchester United. Well, yeah, Burnley ain't playing against in their own ground, but I always, I think this is just going to be such a boring 90 minutes. This is going to be a boring 90 minutes, and we'll end up having to rely on a Paul Pogba thunderbolt, or we're going to have to rely on a Lindelof long cross, and then from the centre-back position all the way to Cristiano Ronaldo, and relying on a goal from that way because Burnley will just park the bus.
To be fair, the games against us in recent matches have been pretty decent. The one where I think there's been a 3-3, a 2-2. They were all around Christmas time as well, like Boxing Day, I think one of them were.
Yeah.
Not to bring it up, but obviously the win with the Stephen Defoe free kick and stuff like that. And just those mad games where Chris Wood scored and Jay Rodriguez scored a screamer. I look forward to the games against United. As you say, they're always good games to watch, always good for the neutral. However, I can't see there being many goals in this. I can't see there being many goals in this one for some reason, which means it's probably going to be like a 5 or 6-0 because I've said that. So.
Well, I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game last time, and it ended up being 3-1. I think I predicted 1-0 in the end, so that is going to be extremely interesting. But I also agree. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Hello to Reese. Thank you for tuning in through Twitch. Box also said that Manchester United need a big clear-out. What do you think? How do you think Manchester United has been from obviously out of Manchester United fan point of view for this season?
It's like I said to Chris with Leicester. Man United are currently being brought back down to earth about who they are as a club. And it's a case of starting again, pretty much. They've tried to sort of live off the hype of what Fergie did. And I do feel that now it's a case of, somebody needs to be given time. Somebody needs to be given time to put their stamp on it and get it sorted. You can't be doing with this like Watford bullshit or bringing in Ralph for like half a season as an interim, and it's just not the United way. When Fergie were there, he was close to being sacked. So it was so close to being sacked, and then the game against Nottingham Forest, the win against Notts Forest completely changed it. After that, they went on a run and literally just became, the monster that they were. However, you've got to sometimes, fortunes do change, and hopefully fortune favours the brave, and you'll get it sorted. But it's adaptive times for Man United. All this chopping and changing at managerial level. I think there's a few parasites in the club itself that need to go.
Agreed.
So get rid of all the dead wood, get rid of the parasites, on the boardroom level, and start afresh, clean slate, go again.
The thing is, though, every time we get a new manager, we always say, time to rebuild, time to rebuild, time to rebuild. But how many times do we need to rebuild? We've had so many managers now since Sir Alex Ferguson. Every time a manager gets sacked, we need a rebuild. What is the squad? What we've got, really? If you look at it, we've got Ronaldo, Cavani, Rashford, Sancho, Varane, De Gea. I'd argue he's probably gone back to prime De Gea with how well he is doing at the moment. Arguably, for me, Manchester United's player of the season. And you look at that squad, what we have got, if you look at all them players individually, on paper, put them on a team, you would genuinely think this is a team that should compete with the likes of Manchester City, the Liverpools, the Chelseas.
Yeah, they should. They should. I mean, let's look at Liverpool, right? The season they won the league, they proper went all out for it. The season after, they were losing games left, right, and centre all over the shop because they were just burnt out. They were just burnt out from trying in that one season. Yeah.
No injuries when they won, and then everyone's getting an injury then.
Yeah, the thing is with United, as I say, it's got to be a changing process. I do think there's a lot of players that think, because I play for Man United, I can just play my normal game. Harry Maguire. I don't know. I've started to analyse defending a lot more, and I've seen how much sometimes he'll get. He picks and chooses when he wants to get a foot in. Sometimes he'll stand off. Sometimes he'll get a foot in, and it'll pay off. But I'm starting to see what United fans saw about Phil Jones in Harry Maguire. If anything, I'd rather put my faith in Phil Jones than Harry Maguire.
I agree. I completely
agree. And that's saying
agree.
something when he's a bastard fan.
I would rather put my faith in Phil Jones right now. Phil Jones has only played 2 games since January 2020. He played for the Aston Villa and came on as a sub for Middlesbrough. And it does say a lot when a lot of fans are more trusting in Phil Jones than Harry Maguire. The thing is, as well, and we brought in a set-piece coach to help us with our corner scoring, to help us not concede, and we have not scored from a corner at all this season. The last time we have scored from a corner was in May 2021 by Harry Maguire.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. It's completely mad. Just the whole complexity of Man United at the moment should be a lot stronger than what it is, and it's not. And the thing is with Man United, it's like dropping a vase and trying to glue it back together. You're not going to remember where every piece goes, but you're still trying to get that final. You're still trying to put the puzzle, to complete the puzzle. And United are not that complete package anymore. It's about finding the right balance, as we say. Get rid of the crap. Get rid of the parasites at board room level, and then should be onto a winner. But it does need a full refurb, not just rebuilding. You need to shut the place down, fumigate it, get rid of all the arseholes that are lingering in the background. I dare say it. I think Sir Alex Ferguson's presence there as well can sometimes be a little bit daunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree, 100%. And what do you think about Ralph as a current Manchester United interim manager? Do you think he's actually doing a good job with this squad we've got?
I think that's what I mean. Yeah. With the players he's got at his disposal, yeah, he's doing fine with what he's got. If he got the job full time and was able to chop and change and do, you're out, I'm sorting this squad out, that's it. That's what it needs. Those people at boardroom level that think they know more than the manager, they think they know football more than anybody else. Yeah. I.e. Ed Woodward and stuff like that.
He's gone now, thankfully. He's left now. The transfer window has ended. Ralph will be going as a consultory role after this interim if he doesn't obviously take that one, if he doesn't take an extra year, for instance. But Ed Woodward is now gone from Manchester United, so that's one less person out of this board.
Bet you're well happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing.
You've took the main parasite out. You now just need to get rid of his minions.
Well, I think he was the minion to other people.
Definitely.
So there was a couple of people here in the chat I want to say hello to. Hello to Alex. Thank you for tuning in. Vincent had a question for you. With the handball situation, do you think it was what do you think of the handball situation? He thinks it did rob us out the FA Cup, but I do believe it didn't rob us from the FA Cup because we had 30 total shots. We wasn't clinical enough with what we did have on that pitch. And even though I do believe it was a handball, I do believe that, for one, we should have been better at our defending. No one marked Crooks. And for two, we should have. How have we got 30 total shots, but we've not managed to score anything? We had a penalty. It wasn't even on target. Bruno missed an open goal. But we can't exactly blame this handball situation for us losing because we should have finished the game at the first half. It should have been 5-0 up just in the first half. But what do you think about that? I'm
fed up with the rules chopping and changing season in, season out. We can we can sit here and argue till we're blue in the face about, oh, the officials are shit, they're shocking, they're getting this wrong left, right, and centre, they're helping their mates on VAR, blah, 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 blah. And I can totally understand people's concepts with it. However, the ref's job is not made easier when they're changing the rules season in, season out. That ref can't then go on holiday, come back and expect to play the same, to the same rules from the season before, because they're just like, right, what's changed? Right, what's classed as handball from the fingertip to the top of the arm, or is it now just if it bounces off playing pinball on your flaming elbow? Like what? It needs it needs clarity. There was a set rules at first.
Yes.
I mean, this handball situation, let's look at that for instance. There's the fact of apparently it's not handball because he wasn't the goal scorer. If it was the goal scorer that it came off him and then he scored, the goal would have been ruled off. So if you're going to rule the goal off for the goal scorer doing it, why aren't you ruling it out because in the build up to that play there was a handball?
Exactly.
So you can't sort of say if the guy who scores handballs it, then nah, no chance. But yeah, if his mate handballs it and practically just passes it to you, that's fine.
People had argued as well that it was actually going out of play until he handballed it. He used it like it was a basketball and put it down like that and passed it to Crooks.
It was a
blatant handball.
difficult.
You could see it off the telly. The telly. So how the ref, DAR couldn't see it, it is extremely questionable. It
is. However, from a Burnley fan perspective, it's nice to see the crappy sides get a decision, because I'm sure if it was the other way, it might have been one of those where sort of like you'd have been like, oh, typical, it just favours the other club, blah blah blah. But yeah, you've got to feel for it. I do think you were sort of robbed. But however, you make a completely valid point that the amount of shots, the penalty miss, you had the chances to put the game to bed, and it just wasn't. Funnily enough, it wasn't to be. Sorry, Tony.
Exactly, and I agree with that. But hello there to Tony. Thank you for tuning in. And we should have been marking Crooks. We wasn't marking him. Where was Maguire? Where was Shaw? Where was McTominay? Even question where's Paul Pogba?
There you go. You had 11 Crooks. You had 11 Crooks in your team.
11 Crooks. 11 Crooks on the pitch and more. More in counting. I know as well that Roy was in the chat. Hello there to Roy. Dan, what do the Burnley faithful think of Chris Wood transfer to Newcastle? Will it affect your chances against Man United?
I think Burnley fans were pretty much probably like myself, like, oh wow, like I can't believe he's gone. Obviously, I think we'd have been a bit peed off more if we just accepted 25 million as a transfer fee and just let him go. But the fact that it was part of a release clause is nothing, all we could have done, apart from saying, please stay, but that's it. So yeah, as I said at the start, Luca Dean leaving Everton to go to Villa for 25 million, us getting 25 million for a 30-year-old that has only returned 3 goals all season is pretty much, yeah, thank you, Newcastle.
We'll finish off with this final question from Mila. Thank you for tuning in. Dan, do you think it was a penalty for Watford? I feel hard done by.
Yes. Yeah, I do think Watford deserved a penalty last night. Connor Roberts handball. You can't do that. Even if you turn your body, no matter what, if your arm's up, your arm's up. I don't even know why it weren't checked, to be fair. So yeah, I can understand why you didn't. I can understand why you'd be upset about it. However, we're giving you your first clean sheet of the season, Mella. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We gave you something at least. We definitely didn't give you a game, I'll tell you that, because we were shit.
We'll finish it off with our score predictions. For me, I'm going to go for a very boring 1-0 to Manchester United. What are you going to go for score prediction?
Oh, I suppose it doesn't matter what I say, because we'll probably just get embarrassingly defeated. So I'll try and be nice and say that I have a bit of faith. I'll go 1-1.
1-1. So you're going to go for a draw.
Well, we are
That'll
the
be
draw
extremely
specialists.
interesting.
We are the draw specialists. Sean Dash does keep coming out saying that, we need to turn these draws into wins. But against Man United, I will take a point because we've only got Liverpool after it. So
you've got 10 draws all this season so far, and that is the next person who has got the highest draws in the bottom half of the table is actually Southampton. They've also on 10 just like you. So draws 1 point is still better than having no points. Andrew's going to go for 1-1. Reese has gone for 3-1. Tony's gone for 1-1. Bots has gone 1-0 to Burnley. And Mr. B, hello to Mr. B. Thank you for tuning in. And he has gone for 2-1 to Manchester United. So we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Dan, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you on again, having this discussion. Where can we find you?
Depends who's trying to find me. As long as it's not like the FBI or out like that, I think I'll be fine. But no, you can find me at Turfmoorhouse TV on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I'm usually dotted around on people's channels. And I'll be on Rich Sports if you are heading over there after this to obviously pretty much say the same shit I already have just said.
A couple more predictions here as well. Niall's gone for 2-0 for United and Vincent's gone for 4-1. Go and check out Dan's channel there. He is on the road to 400 subscribers. I'll put the link in the description below for Dan's YouTube channel, and I have also put Dan's Twitter handle in there and Instagram, so you can go and check Dan out on all the platforms. I'll be next live myself. It will be on Tuesday. I'll be doing a play rating straight after the game for Manchester United versus Burnley. Hopefully I did nice player ratings, but I can be a little bit harsh if you've seen me on Man United Agenda doing player ratings in the past. And then
you're like a female Simon Cowell.
Exactly. That's exactly what I am. You've described me extremely well. And as well, I'll be doing a preview for Manchester United women game against Manchester City, Derby Day, next Sunday. Let's have it in the WSL, and a couple of quizzes coming up next week as well. So stay tuned on Devils United. Hit the like and subscribe button. Only 3 more away now from 500 subscribers. And check out Dan's channel. Let's get Dan to 400 subscribers, so then he's only 100 away from his next challenge. But until
Thanks
Tuesday...
for having me, Maisy, as well.
It's okay. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you very much. But until then, we'll see you on Tuesday. Goodbye for now.